Welcome back to the Malaysian Money Matters show. It's the 5th, June 25. We're diving straight into the latest news shaping the business and economic landscape.
That's right. We've got updates on Malaysian companies, what's happening in ASEAN, and some bigger international developments impacting things here.
Okay, let's kick off with Malaysian corporate news. Some pretty big moves happening. First up, IOI Properties.
Yeah, huge deal there.
Mhm.
They're acquiring full ownership of Singapore's South Beach development, paid CDL about RM2.75 billion for their half.
Wow, 2.75 billion. So they're really betting big on Singapore properties, specifically that recurring income aspect.
Exactly. It cements them as a major regional player, focusing on those stable assets.
And we're seeing other interesting shifts too, like Oasis Harvest completely changing track.
Right. Moving out of palm oil mills and buying the operator of Chef Juan's restaurants for, what was it, around RM30.8 million?
That's it, a full pivot into F&B. It shows how companies are having to, well, really adapt.
Definitely. Green Ocean is another example. They're taking funds over RM20 million, originally for their glove business.
Which has been struggling, right?
Precisely. Falling prices, headwinds. So they're moving that money to support their F&B segment instead.
Makes sense. Adaptation also means cutting losses sometimes. Taiwan is selling an idol factory.
In Port Klang, selling it for RM44.5 million. They mentioned high costs and, well, losses. Tough decision, but maybe necessary.
Yeah, sounds like it. And speaking of major players, the EPF is apparently looking at selling its UK private hospitals.
That's the report. A potential sale worth maybe 1.4 billion. That'd be a significant portfolio rebalancing if it goes through.
Big money. And some movement in leadership, too. CIMB looks set to get a new chairman.
Yes, Syed Zaid Albar, the former Securities Commission chair, and over at Cypark, Wahid Omar is coming in as chairman.
Right, and Ami Morris transitions to Group MD. They're framing it as strengthening governance.
Seems logical. And looking ahead, I-Bhd is putting RM10 million into AI and robotics.
Oh, interesting. Across their whole portfolio. Residential, retail?
Yeah, residential, retail, hospitality.
Yeah.
Trying to embed that tech for efficiency, customer experience, future-proofing.
Good strategy. Now let's look at the wider market picture. Kananga Investment Bank seems a bit cautious.
Yeah. They've lowered their end 2025 KLCI target to 1,655. Have their earnings forecast, too, after a weak Q1.
Ouch. Which sectors are dragging things down?
Mainly the externally exposed ones, unsurprisingly. But they did note that construction, property, and banking are holding up a bit better, some domestic resilience there.
Okay. And one specific impact, India cutting its import tax on crude edible oils. That's not great for Malaysian planters, is it?
No, especially those like KLK and SD Guthrie with refining operations in Indonesia. It makes their refined products less competitive against Indian refiners. A direct challenge.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears a bit, look internationally. How's the ASEAN manufacturing scene?
Still a bit sluggish. The PMI nudged up slightly in May to 49.2, but that's still below 50.
So still technically contracting.
Yeah, for the 12th month straight. New orders are weak. Optimism isn't exactly high. It suggests Malaysia's manufacturing will likely stay pressured near term because of that weaker global demand.
But there are some potential upsides, like the China Plus One trend.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Attracting electronics and semiconductor companies looking to diversify their supply chains could be an opportunity for Malaysia. Plus, deepening ties with China itself.
Okay, now the really complex stuff. Global trade tensions. US and EU, any progress?
The EU says talks are moving in the right direction, but the US doubling steel and aluminum tariffs to 50%, probably not helping things along.
No, probably not. And China's moves on critical minerals are causing ripples, right?
Big time. Those export curbs, especially on rare earths, are hitting supply chains. Automakers like BMW, VW are feeling it. Some European auto parts plants have even had to pause production.
Wow. It's clearly being seen as leverage in the trade situation with the US.
Absolutely. And the U.S. is reportedly looking to respond by boosting its own domestic production using emergency powers, like the Defense Production Act, trying to reduce reliance on China.
Makes sense. Meanwhile, what's the US economy itself doing? Hiring seems to have cooled.
Significantly, according to the May ADP data, only 37,000 new private sector jobs added. That points to weakening demand for workers.
Though pay gains for job changers are still strong.
Still quite robust, yeah. So a bit of a mixed signal there.
And quickly on oil prices dipped a bit.
Just slightly. Rising OPEC plus output and those tariff fears are weighing on the outlook. Although, things like Canadian wildfires and Iran sanctions offer some background support.
Got it. So lots happening. When you pull it all together, what's the main takeaway?
Well, I think the most striking thing is this contrast, isn't it? You have these serious global headwinds, trade friction, slower growth impacting everyone.
Definitely.
But then you see these really dynamic responses at the company level here in Malaysia. Pivoting business models, investing heavily in tech like AI. It's fascinating.
Yeah, the IOI deal, Oasis Harvest completely changing course, I-Bhd's AI push, those stand out as bold moves in uncertain times.
Exactly. It really highlights that navigating this complex environment isn't just about bracing for impact. It's also about actively seeking out those specific opportunities, even when things feel volatile globally. Adaptation and innovation are key.
A really good point. It shows resilience and forward thinking amidst the challenges.
For sure.
All right, that's all we have time for on this deep dive. Lots to think about there, from corporate strategy shifts to global economic pressure.
Indeed. A complex picture, but hopefully we've helped connect some of the dots for you.
We hope so too. If you found this useful, please do subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss our next update. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.